Morning, everyone.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good? All right, let's do it. Ready to go.
Okay. Welcome to Warm and Cozy Quilting in Columbia, Illinois.
Beautiful. Columbia, Illinois.
You have traveled here virtually.
Yes, if not physically. Not right now, though. Like, that's the whole time-space continuum
Right.
thing.
So, we never practice what we're going to say in the beginning. So
We've been doing this for a year. And
this is always like, he's going, what is she saying? Okay, now I got to make a joke.
What's next?
Let's see what else. Okay, fine.
Smile, laugh.
Good morning, Kelly. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
We are having birthdays all over the place.
Yes, everybody.
Yesterday was Sarah's birthday. Today is Kelly's birthday. Sarah is off today.
She
so
is.
It's Kelly. So.
Yeah. So let's tell them about who we are and why we're here.
Well, I did say that we're warm and cozy.
We did.
And we're drinking coffee.
Yes, on a Saturday morning.
Right. So our Saturday mornings are your safe space.
Mm-hmm.
You can put your pocketbook away. You do not have to spend money here.
Oh.
We're going to just talk quilting and fun stuff and tell you all the things going on around here, and it'll be a good time. Yeah. What else do they need to know?
Who are you?
I'm Danielle. This guy over here is Jason.
I'm Jason. If you don't know me, hi.
And behind the camera today is
Victoria.
Yay, Victoria.
Yay.
It is not her birthday.
Nope.
It's everyone else's birthday. No.
I'm close.
Just Kelly and Sarah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I need more coffee in my life sooner.
Me too. I think I might still be asleep a little bit.
A little bit. So, as you said, we are in Columbia, Illinois. For many of you that may or may not be nearby, Columbia is near St. Louis, Missouri, but on the Illinois side. We're like 15, 20 minutes southeast of that.
Metro East
area.
St. Louis.
Southern
Metro
Illinois.
East. Okay.
Not northern.
Right.
We're good people around her. Around her?
Yeah.
We do have quite a few people out there saying hi. If you haven't said hi yet, please feel free. Say hi to the comments.
Jump in. Good morning.
We do follow along with the comments. If you have questions as we go through today's topic, which will be borders.
Right. Going to talk
Not
about
just for
borders.
arguments anymore.
That is true. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. We have like fun borders to talk about.
Yeah, these are fun borders. These are okay to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Donna. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
And Cindy. Hello.
Good morning, Cindy.
There's Pam out there.
I'm going to have to stop saying everybody's name, or we're saying their name twice.
It's okay.
Is that okay? Hi, Pam.
Whatever. We got Eileen watching with her coffee.
Yes.
you.
Good morning, Eileen.
Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Patty.
We did say hello to Kelly and yelled happy birthday at her. Again, please yell at Kelly happy birthday. All caps, appreciated. Removing some quilting while I listen to you guys. Oh. Ripping on a Saturday morning.
That's okay.
That's got to be illegal, at least while watching the show.
It really doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't like the fact that, like, usually if you're taking out stitches, it's not for a good reason. You're not happy about it. But it really doesn't bother me to take out stitches.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's not good for me. I don't like small, tedious things.
I don't.
So anyway, good morning, Marlene, down in Texas. Nice to see you on. And morning, Alvina. And there's some happy birthdays being on there. And there's Dorothy saying good morning. And Diane. And
Hello,
Mary.
Hello.
Hey, Mary, how you doing? We jumped on Jason. Thank you, Facebook. Hello, Cassie.
Got to see Cassie yesterday.
Excellent. There's Donna Blackwell. She's hanging out with us. Awesome. And Pam.
Good morning.
And Sandy. Good morning. Got my coffee too. Good. Good. Get your coffee. How do you take your coffee? I take mine with as much sugar and cream as possible. It's more cream and sugar than coffee.
Yeah. Cream and sugar? Yes.
It's
Is
like
there coffee? Yes.
Drop coffee.
Yeah. Mine is
kind of crunchy.
I like dark coffee, but then a lot of creamer. I've tried to
Dark coffee too, but
I've tried to explain to the kids. I'm like, okay, if they're gonna make my coffee, I'm like, okay, but the creamer's like this.
Yeah, it's a timer thing.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
how
even
much.
quantity. It's
I don't know. It's about that much.
Pour it for about 45 seconds, and then the decimal. Eileen's cross-stitching outside. It is breezy out there this morning. I walked out there. I'm like, ooh, push you around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
At least it's not 100.
At least it's not 1,000 degrees yet.
Or storming.
Right.
Like
which
yesterday,
is my
there was some crazy storm.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
So, Do we want to dive right into borders?
Borders, borders, borders. Are you ready?
They're not super fast. We've been working on this quilt, these
so,
blocks for a while now.
So here's my talk first before we really get
a little bit of talk. Let's have some serious talk. Again, if you have any questions,
good morning, Carla.
Just throw them out there. Good morning, Carla, and thank you for sharing. Yes, absolutely share this stuff.
Yes.
It's good for your friends to know this stuff too.
Yes.
Especially your friend that likes to just slap borders on. Tell them to watch.
Oh, wait. Are any of you long armers who long arm for your friends? You may want to call them right now.
Hey.
Say, watch.
You need to watch this border session.
And then it's not you complaining.
Right.
This is what they're saying in the world of quilting. Okay, right? Because I'll tell you why. Because when you put a quilt on the frame, on a long arm frame, if the borders have just been haphazardly put on, it could be like a mountain range and it doesn't lay very flat. And when you bring me your quilt, you expect to get a good product in return.
Absolutely.
If I have a quilt that doesn't lay flat, then you could end up with a pucker. And then whose fault is it?
Sometimes, if it's so bad, it's almost more of a fold.
Sometimes it's a fold. But anyway.
We don't want that.
There's tricks to making it lay flat, and a lot of times it's Jason calling me going, come over here and put your hands on it. I don't know. I can't. I need Danielle hands. I need somebody to ease it in, to make it work. So anyway.
It happens.
It does. And the reason is not your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
The reason is that these pattern writers, a lot of them are telling you incorrectly.
Bad info from a pattern writer.
The pattern is also important on all of these little pieces and tedious, and and a lot of that they've done really well. Okay. And then step 17 is add borders. Step 18 is quilt as desired. Like, no more information. There you go.
Here, add some borders.
What? So, and sometimes they will tell you incorrectly, and they will say,
morning, Cheryl.
Just, like, I've had this happen. Okay, so, like, they know your linear inches is supposed to be 266.
Sure.
So they'll tell you to cut these strips and link them together till you have 266. And then sew it on one side, cut it off. Sew it on one side, cut it off.
If you're a pattern writer and you do that, I'm disappointed in you.
I really feel like a lot of times, they have done so much work, and they're like, people know how to do borders. I don't need to specifically explain to them how to do borders. They already know. I'm just telling them this information. Well, if this is the first pattern you've ever bought, and you've put together your block, and now you're looking to this person to explain how to do borders.
Yeah.
And they tell you, add your borders.
Stand them.
And they'll even tell you in the cutting instructions, cut them to this measurement. Well, I am here to tell you that we put together these blocks. We used one machine. I did some. Debbie did some. They should have all ended up being the same size, right?
Sure. Exactly the same size.
So I did tell you all to square them up to 12.5, okay, at the end. But I'm telling you right now, your 1/4 inch foot is probably lying to you, okay? If you are getting to the point that you're putting things together and you're losing points, or you go to square it up to 12.5 and it's not even 12 inches, somewhere in there, it is not the pattern's fault. Something in there is incorrect. Did you cut something wrong? Start by measuring things. Did you
starch after you cut?
Starch after you cut, because when you starch, your fabric does kind of shrink up a little bit. So you starch before. If you starch after, then now you're having shrinkage after you've already made it the size that you want. Now we're in trouble, right? So there's all these little things, and we've covered a lot of this, but I'm just telling you again, because now as you start to you've put your sashing together, that's what we did last time.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to your blocks and you're like, oh man, look, that ended up being a little bit flat. First of all, just double checking that I wasn't going too fast and, got a little carried away and cut that one a little bit too big, short, whatever. Anyway, or is it that something in the measurements along the way I did incorrectly?
I think the moral of it all is that you got to watch your 1/4 inch foot.
You
Make
have
sure you
to.
stay at the 1/4 inch because you're going to put all this time and effort to square up your blocks, to put your sashing in there to make it a nice, even square. So the last thing you're going to want to do is come up with these borders, and you're just going to slap things on there, and it's going to make all that time and effort irrelevant.
Right.
So you don't want to do that. So check your 1/4 inch foot.
Absolutely.
And then figure out what you're going to do from there. And I
Right.
want to point this out. I'm sorry. Ellie, you called yourself out there. Your borders are fine. Believe me, you are not the worst we've ever seen.
No.
And you had, we did other cool things with your quilt anyway.
Yeah, she had
so
applique that was, oh my gosh, that was super
adorable.
awesome. Yeah. And,
Anyway.
And, you know, I tend to just like, I fight with this in my head. Do I say something to a customer and let them know? There are some customers who would be
Don't
offended.
take creative criticism. And it's not intended to be criticism.
Right.
It's to help.
Right. And there are
get
some
better.
that are like, oh my gosh, please tell me if I'm
Right.
because this is going to be helpful and I know that my next project's going to be better. But, you know, so, and everything I say is in love.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but the cool thing is that we've been doing this whole quilt without a pattern, right?
No pattern.
I've
Just
given you
making
some patterns for a block.
Right.
And those are all still in, like, I think if you go on our page and there's like a files tab or
Yes,
something.
that's all on our Facebook
Yeah.
page. You can find all those designs for each one of these blocks.
Right. So you
Absolutely.
can go out there and if you have no idea what we're talking about this first time you stumbled upon us, you can still make this quilt or how and in whatever colorways you want. But anyway, and also there's tons of books that we've talked about that have different size blocks, and you can be making anyway, you can make your own quilts. You do not have to rely on a pattern writer.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So we've made these blocks, but now we're like, okay, we want to add some borders. We need to determine how big of a quilt we want to end up with.
Correct.
Where are we now? Where do we want to go, right?
Okay, so first off, why are we using borders? One, you want to make sure it's to frame your quilt top. You don't want it taking away from anything.
Right.
You're also adding dimension, literal dimension. You're making it longer and wider. So you piece these together, and now it's not big enough. So you're adding some dimension. That's why we add borders. Also, where's the other thing? I don't know. You've already talked about most of this, which is cool. I'm glad you're on top of the game today.
Okay.
I
think you're doing just fine.
doing fine. Okay.
Okay. So we have our 12-inch. These have now finished at 12-inch.
Yes, ma'am.
We have our sashing that finished at 2 and our cornerstones.
Yep.
And so I need my tape measure over there.
Oh, do you? Okay.
We now have, so I have this going the wrong, if you will, direction. It's
lengthwise.
Lengthwise here, and here's your width is the short way.
This way you can see it.
Yeah. But our width is roughly 45. I am not using this measurement for anything other than to just get a rough idea.
Okay.
And then this way.
I'll take the dumb end.
Okay. Oh, you got the smart end.
Oh, no. I messed up. So this is about 58.
So roughly 60. Let's call it 45 by 60.
Okay, great.
Okay.
45
Just
by 60. Nice
for
to meet you.
quick, easy math that we're going to cut border strips for.
Okay, do you need me to write things down?
Maybe.
Okay.
So then you need to figure out how much fabric do I need to go all the way around, right?
Yes, that's a good question.
So do you want to show them
45
how to do that?
by 60.
Okay.
You see
So,
this? Yes. My handwriting is terrible. Not sorry. I should have been a doctor.
okay, so what we need is the linear inches, right?
Linear. So we're going
that
to do
means
45
we're gonna
and
add
45.
everything up around the outside. 45 and 45,
And then
60 and 60.
Okay, quick math. 120 plus 90. Who's got the right answer? Now I can't wait for the delay. Do you know the answer? 210. 210 inches.
Okay. You're writing on a downward slope.
I am
Okay.
not great at this.
And then you're going to take that and you're going to divide by 40. Okay, why 40?
Yes, why 40?
So roughly, the width of fabric on a bolt of fabric is 40 inches.
Right.
It's usually a little more than that. It's usually 42, 45, but some salvages are fat and, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. And so I always just say, and plus it's easier to go divide by 40 than divide by 42. Plus I'm giving myself a little extra leeway there, right?
Right.
So anyway, so we know that we're over 5. And we can't cut a half a cut, right? So we're going to need 6 cuts.
People out there that are math
6
teachers are not
strips.
yelling at me. Stopped.
Yeah, anyway, so if because you're going to have to round up, even
Right.
if it would have ended up at 5.2,
You still have to go
you're
to
going to
6.
need 6. You cannot cut a partial strip.
Yeah. Once you go past that whole number, you're good.
Yeah.
Cindy got it right.
Yeah.
She's awake already.
Yeah, she's had coffee or something. Anyway, so we're going to need 6 strips that we're going to use to piece together
Yeah.
to get our borders.
Okay.
I just thought of something else. I
Uh-oh.
have some friends out there who do not like to piece borders.
Okay.
So they will cut length of fabric instead of width of fabric.
I see.
This works great. You generally have to buy more fabric, and sometimes, of course, then you're going to have leftovers. I don't mind scraps.
I mean, especially if you're doing like a border print that is printed.
Oh, yeah, especially directional fabric.
So.
I could go into a whole thing. I did this yesterday with a customer. We discussed how to cut length of fabric.
Right.
When you're cutting width of fabric, you can fold it over 4 times. I don't care.
Off you go.
But when you are cutting length of fabric, generally it's because there is something directional.
Yeah.
Also, it is very long, and if you start folding over, you could have wobbles in there because it's such a long piece of fabric. So we could do a whole thing. We're not going to do that. Okay. If you want to cut length of fabric, we'll talk about it another time. So you need 6 cuts. I decided that I wanted my border to be we didn't talk about so we have a quilt that's 45 by 60 right now. I'm going to add 2 borders.
Yeah.
And I had thought, what about a 3-inch and a 5-inch? Okay. I like to graduate up. You don't have to, but you can go like this is 2.5 or finishes at 2. I'm sorry. So then I want whatever is next to be slightly larger than that. So to me, 3 is going to be good there. And then 5 is going to be good outside. If I add, so when I add 3 inches here and 3 inches here, that's 6.
So
right?
that changes this from 45, 51, right?
Right. And then the length, I'm also going to add 6, right? Because I'm going to add 3 on each side. So add a 6 there.
66.
Okay. So I'm at 51 by 66. Still a good sized quilt. Hey, if you're making a lap quilt for a kid or a lap quilt really for anybody, you could stop right there.
You could.
By the way, do you have to add borders? No. This could be finished. 45 by 60. If this was a baby prince and I wanted to give it to my brand new niece, then...
But this isn't, so she's not getting it.
Yeah.
Make your own.
I could stop right here and I could quilt this and be done. We didn't have to add borders, but we're going to, right? So I'm like, okay, that's good, but let's add that 5-inch border. So I'm going to add another 5 and 5, so I'm going to add 10.
Okay, so we're adding 10 to this side. It's going to make it 61-ish. By another 10 on the other side, on your sides.
Right.
Which makes it 76.
Okay, so 61 by 76. So that is a great lap size.
That's a good size.
Also, we do quilts for Quilts of Valor.
Yes.
Quilts of Valor, they have a rough estimate that an average size that they like to have their quilts, and that is 60 by 80.
Oh, so this is really close.
Right. So if you were making a quilt for Quilts of Valor, you're in good shape. This is, you add a 3 and a 5, and we're done.
Right.
So that would be 12-inch blocks.
Yeah.
We made 12 of them. 2-inch sashing.
Yeah.
3-inch, 5-inch borders.
Magic.
Okay.
Look at that.
So that's why I decided on 3 and 5. You can decide on whatever you want. You can add more borders.
You could.
You could absolutely do 5 and then 3. They do not have to get larger as you go out. That's just something that I've done and looks good. I have also quilted a lot where they have a 3-inch, they have a 5-inch, then they have a small one again.
Yeah.
You know, so you can add 4 borders. You need to get this to be queen size.
Now, I'm going to preface that with, you can have as many borders as you want, but the more borders you add, if you're just adding it on and lobbing off the excess fabric, you're going to add more nightmares to your long armor's life. So,
you are, yes.
Do the right thing, measure properly, as we are about to show you. I'm not going to show you anything. Danielle's going to show you. I'm going to sit here and smile.
Okay.
Okay.
So
what you got?
I have cut
Yes.
6 pieces.
Okay.
For our inner border. These I cut at 3.5 so that they would finish at 3.
Okay.
You see, I already have some up here.
You do. Board. Yes.
But that was just me getting it out of my way, really.
Preparing.
So what I need right now, because I'm going to add my 2 side borders first.
Okay.
And then my top and bottom.
So sides first.
Sides first, top and bottom.
Now, is that more of an aesthetic thing? Because
Sure.
It looks like your top is kind of rolling across the top of that.
Yes.
So okay.
You absolutely can do it the other way. I have done it the other way many times, especially with directional fabric, or if I'm short on fabric and I want to get that top piece in and I don't have to piece it.
Right.
At like 45. Okay, so if I had a fabric right now that was 45 with the fabric, it's going to fit on this top and bottom.
Right.
And then I could add my sides. And then the only thing I'm piecing is the side borders. So, you know, there's reasons that you can do other things. I'm not going to talk about mitered borders today. That does take more fabric. Generally speaking, I don't miter anything unless it needs it. Like if it is a border print that needs to continue around, then it needs to be mitered. Otherwise, I just dead end my borders. That's what that's called, just dead end them.
Okay. Gotcha.
So we're going to add our sides first. And remember, we're roughly 60 inches long. So I'm at 40, 40, 40. I got 3 pieces here. They're all 40, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut my salvages off. And I'm going to cut one of these in half. And I'm going to give it to either one of those.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
I'm going to hold all my folded ends together.
Okay.
Don't do what I've done before and then take it and cut the folded end. Right now, I just want to cut the selvages off, and I have in the past done the wrong thing.
Flip-flopped, got the wrong side.
Then I was
kind of
piecing
funny,
more.
actually. That's kind of funny.
Why is that
it
funny?
wasn't. Because I have a 6th sense of humor, perhaps.
Okay, possibly.
Yes.
So batiks sometimes don't have a lot of selvage.
No,
so you
usually
can get
don't.
pretty close to the edge there.
Yeah.
But you really want to
So how can you tell where the selvage is for the most? Like, how do you know you got it all? At what point do you know you've gone in far enough? When there's no more holes from the way it was on the fabric?
Right. So how they attach it to whatever they're to dye it or to print on it, they have holes in it that they hold on to. And why do we even take off the selvage?
Because it's tighter woven there.
Right.
And
exactly.
So
you don't want that in your quilt, because a lot of times I've had people go, "Oh, I'll just put a fatter seam in there." And it doesn't matter. I just don't want them to see the selvage. Well, no. You also don't want it inside your quilt, because then it's going to shrink differently. It's going to be a little bit more tighter woven.
Unless you're doing a selvage quilt.
Yes.
Which is another conversation for another day. Let's go ahead and cut this.
So we have started saving our selvage, because you know what? You're paying a lot for this fabric. And, you know,
there's a thing.
Use it all.
Don't tell them all about the secrets.
Okay.
That's another day.
So, but you really, mostly with batiks, because it doesn't have that white strip that tells them something on there, or holes in it. It is just has a different feel.
Right. It's just
so. On batiks, I'm usually just going by texture.
Okay.
Just going to take off these ends.
Okay. Perfect. Look at you go. Like
I'm going to also just then double check, and if there was one that I felt like, oh, that selvage was a little bit further in, I would recut.
Perfect.
Okay. Now,
excellent.
I only want one of these.
Okay.
That I'm going to flip around and cut off at the fold.
Okay.
Give those so he can throw them.
Because again, math.
So now, got one for each.
Okay.
Because I want to make these roughly 60 inches long.
Yep. So this is 40.
And I'm adding a 20, right? I'm adding a half of a 40. Again, remember they're probably 45. It's probably not exactly.
And actually, and don't
we
forget,
already measured it. It was 57 or something. 58.
This is 58, and we're going for 60, so we're going to have extra anyway, and that's okay.
I'm going to chug this real quick.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, don't spit it all over the place. Are you done with that?
Just take it.
You drink it all. Oh, I'll try not to knock it over.
I had a liter, but I guess I don't have a liter.
What did we do with your liter?
Just give me a little piece of something.
I'll give you this. Oh, there it is. Found it. I hit it on you. Not intentionally, but I did.
So
Okay.
in quilting, everything we did in all these blocks, we never ever back tacked anything, right?
No.
We never, if you've quilted clothes, pieced any garments, you're generally back tacking. You don't back tack in quilting because everything you're going to end up going across another time, right? So there's really not a need. I generally back tack on my borders when I'm piecing them together, just because then I'm going to put it into this and I'm going to be messing with it and pulling on it a lot. And so that's it's the only time that I back tack anything, but I do on borders.
Just a button on your machine.
Yeah.
You should just stitch backwards a couple stitches. That's what back tacking is. And if you haven't used that button yet, do it. It's fun.
Here's the day. You can try it out.
So you just go a couple stitches in, then you go a couple stitches back out, and then you keep going as we're going. Easy. Okay.
And I can stitch this other one.
Yes, you may. Please do.
Of course, you're making sure you have right sides together. I have batiks, so they are always right sides together.
Yeah. That's why I like batiks, because you can't get them backwards.
I have had a couple that I was like, whoa, that really is different on the inside versus the outside, but it's rare.
It's very rare, the batiks. But I've seen those. I avoid.
I also think that maybe sometimes it's just that you know how they're highs and lows, they're darks and lights.
Right.
So is it really, or is it just that that's the lighter portion of this, that's the darker portion? You see what I'm saying?
It's tough to tell.
Did everyone fall asleep out there?
I don't know. Are you guys still with me? I mean, we got a solid number of people today, which is fantastic because it has been tough.
It's been quiet
to get people to join in the conversation lately because everybody's getting back out there because the world's opening up, and that's okay.
Yes.
Go enjoy the world again, but come back and say hi to us. Again, if you're just joining us and you have questions, let me know.
Because we do still worry about you.
We do.
I don't know why.
It's the same as the pandemic started.
Though. Like, I'm like, oh, we haven't seen so-and-so.
Where have they been?
I swear, like, it happens when you cross my mind, generally then you show up.
Usually that's how it works.
I swear, I thought about Rochelle the other day, and then she came in, and I was like,
oh, and if you haven't been in a minute, we've rearranged the shop.
Okay, I have to step off camera, kind of, because I got to press these.
Oh, okay. Press them. Make that work awesomely.
Sorry.
You'll be able to see her arms.
Here's my hand.
Kelly's still here. Pat Larimore's here. Hi, Pat. Saw you the other day.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I didn't know who you were because I am still not getting used to the whole faces. Like, most of you I've met, so I've been here full time since October. I've met a lot of you, mask, and now no mask, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. So even the regular customers that I knew before, I'm still seeing you now, and I'm like, oh, that's who that is, because
we've been, you know, curve. I think you guys all get this because you've been doing the same thing. Your brain like makes a face.
Oh yeah.
You know, like so especially people that I've met
only with a mask.
Since masks, and I never knew you before. Then without a mask, I'm like, I did not have your face like that.
Right?
My brain said something else, you know. And
in my brain, you look more like a cartoon character. Donna said she'll be in later, so don't think about her.
Oh, too late. Already did.
Sorry, we haven't seen you in a minute, so thought about
it. Well, and we have some stuff for you.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Okay. So now I've got these two pieces that are, I don't know how long, right? Don't care.
60-ish.
I'm going to measure my quilt.
Okay. This is the important part of this conversation.
Are you ready?
This is where you have to try hard to make this work.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to measure it in 3 places.
Okay.
I'm going to measure. So remember, this is kind of goofy because I'm going to say I'm measuring the sides, but and looks like I'm measuring the top, but my quilt is on sideways.
Lengthwise, yes.
So I'm going to measure across one side.
Yep.
Then down the middle.
Yep.
And then along the other side. Okay.
3 measurements.
3 measurements.
1, 2, 3.
And I'm going to get them. Oh, here.
Let me help you out there. Here, give me the dumb end. Thank you. All right.
And, you know, I like to kind of go along a seam so that I know I'm straight, right?
Okay.
And I am at 58 3/4.
58 3/4. Okay. I'm going to write that down. 58.75. Okay. That's 1. Okay. Do it again.
Here.
Okay.
Nice middle.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, that's about the same.
58 3/4. Okay.
Let me tell you, that doesn't generally happen. Usually, you get 3 different numbers.
Usually, but I mean,
why is
different, but within an inch or so.
Roughly the same. Because as we press, did we absolutely always use a 1/4 inch?
Exactly. And we're going to measure this.
And
Oh,
this
you're up
one?
top. Sorry. Okay, what you got?
This is just an 1/8 difference.
Okay.
So
more or less
5/8. So instead of
58
and
5/8, which is 675.
Yep. No, lots of fractions to decimals and all of that stuff. Okay, that's important.
All right.
So now I have to determine what size I'm going to make my borders. So because now this is my outer edge and this is my inner. These two are my outer edges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're 2 different sizes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to cut my borders to be exactly the same size.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut them both to be 58 3/4.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe you. I'm doing a number math here, so that's why I'm staring at the screen intently. So anyway, you would take your numbers and you would average them. And how many of you remember how to average from school? You add the 3 together, and since you have 3, you're going to divide that by 3. And that's going to give you a measurement. So this number added together, I'm going to write it down. 176, yes, I didn't do this in my head because I am not that smart, 0.175.
Mm-hmm.
Do that math in your head.
Good.
You're awesome if you do.
Okay, now divide by 3.
So we're going to divide by 3. Divide, 3, enter, 58.725.
So that's, anyway.
So close to 3/4. I would just go with 3/4 because I don't know that there's a mark on your measuring tape for 7.25.
Right? Okay, so then what I do is with my nice long yellow measuring tape is I go to 58 3/4.
Yeah.
And I fold this in half because especially at home.
Yes.
And even here, I don't have a whole lot of room.
Right.
So I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to put it right there so that I'm right in half and I'm going to.
Okay.
So now that's how long my in half should be.
Okay, I'm going to take that to the edge.
To there.
Okay.
Does any of this make sense? I mean, I could now just actually do it like this. That still works better like that, but then I can go to the 1 and cut off what is not needed.
Okay.
Don't cut your measuring tape.
Don't.
Or then you can't use it no more.
Then it's lost its efforts and doesn't know what it's doing any longer. Okay. Did you cut both of them?
I cut both of them exactly the same size.
Okay, perfect.
I sure hope that they were, yes, they were.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, now they're both the same size, and now I'm going to add them to my quilt.
Right. So the important part is that you want them both the same size. So even if it is a hair shorter on this end than it is on that side, you want your borders to be the same. And you're going to work that in so that way your quilt is now framed by the same size fabric all the way around. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm going to do this. So.
Whoa, look at that wall. Hey, look, there's our logo back there. You can see it through the batting.
Here's how we're going to do this.
Okay.
You may want to move all that nonsense.
This has gotten busy up here all of a sudden. I feel like I've run out of room.
So I'm going to, you can use pins. I like clips.
Okay. Clips are my favorite.
So I now have a featherweight at home.
Yes.
And I have a little seam guide that's right here and it sticks out and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Except when my clips get close to that, it hooks onto it. So I've been going, man, I see why people use pins now.
Yeah. You'll have that on the mid.
Anyway, so I'm going to clip to the end. I'm going to make sure it's all the way at the end. I clip.
Clip, or pin. Your corners first.
All the way to the end. The reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I don't have it twisted. Because you don't want to get down here and go like this, right?
And have your border doing cool things because you'll be mad later.
Right. I also want to make sure, see, I have my seam here, that is facing me.
Yes.
Right? I don't want to, I have pressed I've put a border on and then realized I didn't have right sides together.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than getting a quilt on the long arm frame and get started and then realize after you advance the quilt a couple times that border is now wrong way.
No good. Okay, so now I'm going to take this.
Okay.
And I'm going to fold the whole thing in half.
Okay. Sarah is wondering if this quilt will be hanging in the shop soon. Maybe. So the shop or the quilt has a journey to go on still. We still have a few more things that needs to happen before it is hangable worthy. But yes.
Like it needs to be quilted.
Right. The important part of the process.
So this would be a good time though to tell them about next week.
So next week, what we're talking about doing. So
I found this. Oh gosh, I need to tell them this part.
Okay,
Jason.
tell them this part. What are you telling them? I'll tell you what I was going to tell you in a moment.
I've got my two ends. I've got my pins in my hand.
Yes.
I'm now finding the center.
Yes.
Of both the
border and the top.
And I'm making sure that I am center and center.
Okay, perfect. Okay? Yes.
And then I put a pin there.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to then do that again. I'm going to go from center to the end.
Okay.
So I'm going to find the center of the center.
The center of the center.
And the center of the center.
I guess that would be the quarter way.
Right.
The quarter of the way.
So you absolutely must. Write it down.
Write it down.
Have 5 pins at least.
5.
Okay.
At least. That's where you want to be
at.
5 points pinned while you put your border on. Yes, this takes more time and effort than just slapping them on. But again, you'll be much happier with the finished product. And so will your long armor. Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Mm-hmm. So next week, we are going to talk about the next phase in the quilt process, which is going to be backing and batting. The two
More bees.
More bees. So many bees.
So many bees, right?
So you have to have backing for your quilt. How do you choose which backing to use? Does it matter? Can you piece your backing? I don't know. Sure. And then we'll talk about batting a little bit. Which batting type is what you need for the quilt you're making? Should I use wool in this kid's quilt? The answer is probably not. Unless you love wool that much.
You absolutely can.
We can. But we'll talk about that more.
We're going to talk a lot about, so I generally say there's no rules. Do whatever you want, you know? And today I'm very much telling you that there are rules with borders.
With borders, there are hard rules.
It just makes sense to take some time. And so here's my problem. When I get to this point and I get this much done, I'm like, just throw them borders on and get this done. Because I'm finished, right? I have made 200 pineapple blocks. And
I'm so tired
put them all together. And look at this. It's right there. Like I've spent months on this.
It's a final dash. Fight the urge.
I'm almost there, right? Okay.
Don't sprint. No.
So I generally then lay it out.
Yeah.
And I make sure, and a lot of times I will then
add more clips.
I just want to make sure, and you could fold it and find the center. At this point, I feel that we've got enough good measurements that just adding these in here and there is going to be beneficial.
Right. Okay.
So that then, now, what the whole purpose?
Yeah, what's the purpose?
Is that we want to ease this border. We want this border to fit onto this quilt.
Yes.
And we want nice, even feed. And you can see right now that my quilt is trying to fall off this table because of gravity. And there's no way around gravity, apparently. Did you know about that?
I didn't know we were getting into science.
So,
thank you, Sir Isaac Newton.
You've now got this big quilt that you're trying to, and at home, I probably have about this much space past my machine.
Yes.
So I now have this quilt that's hanging off. And I'm trying to put borders on, and I want to keep it even, nice, even feed. And I have something that's tugging. So then I'm tugging. And now I'm playing tug of war with gravity. And I don't know if you know or not, but you will lose. Yes. So, this is why I go through all this pinning, so that then I am working from here to here.
Yeah.
That's all I'm concerned with.
It's a lot easier
I
to
am
work
not
with that
concerned with here to 60 inches later.
Right.
I'm worried from here to here. Okay?
Got little milestones for you.
So I took that first one off because, well, I can't sew. I've got that clip.
No, but the first one's important to have, so that way the corners are where they belong.
And as soon as you've got it all pinned and you're good, a lot of times, let me go back here. A lot of times I will just take that one that's on the end and slide it.
Yeah. Oh, just come back a little bit.
You know, just so that then I really can get good and
I like it. Good idea.
I'm taking it off.
But she took it off today. And now she's going to fight this thing.
And I'm not really sure how well this is going to go standing up with this quilt, but we're going to do it.
It's probably not going to be near as fun as she would like it to be, but we will enjoy watching it happen.
Yeah.
Ready, go. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody enjoying so far? Everybody get ideas, any questions, any comments, anything like that? Let me know. Throw them out there. Just say, hey, what about whatever? I'll answer you while she's busily sewing things together.
Here we go.
So I don't know that we're going to have time to do this whole border thing today. Because
No.
again, borders are not quick. They don't happen immediately. They do take time. And if you want it done right, you got to make sure it takes time. So make sure you're on top of it. So what are you doing there?
So because we've pinned frequently throughout, we should be in pretty good shape to not miss. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
You don't want your quilt to slide out from underneath your border,
which it will try to do.
And because again, there's gravity and it's pulling, and I've got a hold of this little piece, but do I have a hold of this whole thing that's fallen?
Right.
So there's a lot of times you will see me. I will just double check. I'm pulling the border over to make sure that I am still on the quilt, that the quilt hasn't got away from me. Mm-hmm. But since we've pinned about every 10, 20 inches. I don't know how far. There's math. I don't know.
There's math. There's things.
But because
about every 10 inches or
because
so.
I've pinned so frequently, I shouldn't have that as an issue, but I still am a double checker.
Yep. 10 to 12 inches is what this is. And it's been, it really keeps things in place a lot better when you pin it that often. So if you aren't a fan of pinning, I know when I first made a few quilts, I was like, I'm not pinning anything. I'm just going to go. I have learned that pinning is very important. Even if you don't like it, at least a few of them will keep your life a lot straighter. So, yes, ma'am. Sewing right down the edge there. Are you following your 1/4-inch guide on that? Or are you still coming in a little bit on yours?
At this point, I'm just following the 1/4-inch guide. The one thing is that I do not need to add small pieces past here.
Okay, so it's not so urgently important.
It is good to be consistent. It is not necessary to be at a super accurate measurement. Gotcha. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I don't have to be of course, I'm still using my 1/4-inch foot, so I should be a 1/4-inch. But I'm telling you right now, this 1/4-inch is fat. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
And it's better to have it marked on my machine or something else that I can, anyway. But I'm not going to be too concerned with being a little bit scant or anything like that.
Because
I'm doing
a border, we're going to adjust.
We're going to measure again.
Anyway. Okay, perfect. Pam jumping on. Nice to see you, Pam. And don't forget, if you are just jumping on and you need some more of this information on the borders and adding them, you can always rewatch this. We'll also put it on YouTube within, I don't know, whenever Sarah does that, because Sarah's the smart one there. But it will be available on YouTube for you to watch as well. So that way you can get to it any time, any place. Yes, ma'am, you will have to go back and watch from the beginning. She just said that. Way to go, Pam. You're on top of things. But yeah, so borders, again, they're really super important. I never really thought they were as important as they are. They really make your quilts a lot nicer. I'll let you go.
So I know that there's other information that we need to give them.
On what? Like everything else?
Yeah, like in the world of, us.
Oh, would you like some insight, some housekeeping as she sews this border on and I sit here admiring the sewing process? Monday flash sale. Let me cover that real quick. I just totally kicked the table.
Did we? Oh, yeah.
Did we?
I was like, did we decide?
Yes. Yes, you worry about you.
I already forgot.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
That's why you're telling everybody, right? That's why you're telling everybody.
Here we go. So, Monday flash sale. Who knows what Monday flash sale is? Raise your hand. Yes. And yes, thank you so much. Monday flash sale. We have a website, warmncozyquilting.com. Go to our website. We have a category on the website. It's called Monday Flash Sale. Pretty straightforward. You click on that, and we'll have a category of items on sale only on the website on Monday because, well, we're closed on Mondays. So, you can't come to the store and shop it, but you can shop it online. This week, who knows what we're doing this week?
I don't.
You don't know. She already told me she don't know. You don't know. What is it? Go ahead. I don't know what she's saying. She's whispering over there. The answer is kids fabric. So if you're working on a quilt for a kid, you got a new baby coming, any of the above, Monday flash sale is the time that you go check out the website. Typically, Danielle takes a pretty good discount on these things, close to like 20% on the fabrics that are out there, which is pretty solid. So
And I never just do prints.
No, she always puts other things in there. She does put blenders in with it because
So
you
if
can't
like,
just do.
I'm not making a baby quilt, so I don't need to go.
Right.
You're probably wrong because I'm probably going to have cool stuff too.
Right.
I mean, the kids' prints are cool, but
they are. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I get you. I get it. Oh, I'm sorry. Sarah did know the answer. Unfortunately, there's a delay, and I gave the answer before Donna answered, which she said Kelly's birthday specials. Which no, because I didn't think to ask Kelly what she wanted on. But sorry. Happy birthday, Kelly. Anyway, let's see here.
She got her birthday off, so that's her special.
Believe me, no.
She gets to watch us. So Kelly has started working for us, and so then Saturdays she doesn't get to watch.
Right, she has to work.
So this is the best birthday present ever.
Right?
She gets
Anyway, that is up by 9 a.m. on our website. So if you go there a little earlier than 9 a.m. Central Time, you may see some stuff filtering out there, and you start shopping that before 9, you probably won't catch everything. By 9 a.m., though, everything's out there. It stays up for the day, all Monday. Shop it. So if it's 6 o'clock in the evening and you're like, oh, no, I forgot to go to the... It's still, you can still go there. Okay. Just go buy what you need. Monday, 9 a.m.
We got one side on.
Ooh, okay.
Now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. And go. So she's going to continue on this. Do you need me to help you with this? So let's talk about Wednesday live sales.
Okay.
At this point, we're still doing Wednesday live sales.
That may change.
It could change. We've been having a conversation. A lot of people don't have time on Wednesdays to make it to the sale.
And a lot of you went back to work.
A lot of you went back to work.
5 o'clock, like you're just maybe leaving the office.
Right, stuck in traffic.
Or you're driving or whatever. And so, it's not, 5 o'clock's a little bit tough, right?
It is. So we don't know. But for right now, if that changes, we'll let you know. But so Wednesday at 5 o'clock here on the Facebooks, we have a live sale. Typically, it's something new that's come in. We have a lot of cool stuff that's come in lately.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's something we're doing on this Wednesday. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to see for yourself on Wednesday. Those sales are available on the Facebook feed only. So if you see them and you're like, ooh, I want those fabrics at that price, you can only get those price by commenting on that Facebook feed.
Correct.
And they're only good until Thursday the next day at noon. So it's worth doing. Simple enough?
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you on that. And then you don't have to stare at me on that one because then they got Danielle and the girls up here. They're far more entertaining than myself.
He's on there anyway.
My hands are on there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know that you're going to tell them more stuff.
About what?
July 10th.
I'm getting there.
Okay,
look, I have 2 pages of things.
Okay. Oh, now my nose is going to itch.
Goodness gracious. So, I will then jump ahead to July 10th, which I didn't actually have on here. I'm going to write it on.
I knew
See
it.
this? Now it's here.
Oh, wait.
July 10th.
But hold on. There's even more. Okay.
I know there's more. Do
Okay.
you want to do this or do you want to put borders on? We got 5 minutes.
I'm going to put borders on. Oh, my gosh. Hurry.
That's not true. We got about 10 or 11.
You don't hurry. You don't hurry. It's
we
borders.
don't hurry.
Don't
we
hurry.
do the right thing. Find your half. You find your half. You find your half. Pin them. Go. Easy. Anyway. All right. So July 10th. All this panic that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
What is happening July 10th? July 10th, we are going to have a quote-unquote garage sale. It's Victoria's quote-unquote garage sale because it's not a junk-riddled fest of getting rid of things.
No.
It's literally going to be at our garage, which is our other building where the long arms are, where our studio is. So if you want to have a sneak peek at where our long arms are, if you want to test drive the machines, because we are a Handy Quilter retailer, if you want to check out the machines with the Pro Stitcher, this is your chance to come by and test drive these things. Also, shop the stuff that Victoria has picked from the main shop to put on sale. So it's going to be a good time. I just sidetracked writing comments. I'll get back to you, Jeannie, but you're right. I'm funny. So, July 10th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., that's our regular store hours. Come on by. You can shop the regular shop. You can come over and check out our garage sale. See what cool stuff Victoria's put on sale, and have a good time.
We have some samples that shop samples that we made.
Oh, okay.
That then we maybe we sold all the fabric, so we needed to make a new sample.
Right.
And so we have some shop samples that are going to be for sale.
Oh, okay.
There's, a some books that we only have one left, and it's kind of sat there a while, and it's probably been behind something, and you're going to love it, but you just didn't see it.
Just didn't see it there.
And so we're going to mark those down. And
awesome. So it'll be a good time. So mark your calendars. Saturday, July 10th. That's in like 2 Saturdays from now.
Ooh. Are we ready? Oh, and she's putting together scrap bags for sale.
Yeah.
You guys have shopped our scrap bags before, or like bought a scrap bag from us on a Wednesday sale where it was kind of like you're going to get a secret surprise. Anyway, I've had friends who have brought in their quilt tops that they made from a $15 scrap bag.
Hair's doing some wild things.
Your hair's fine.
Look at this. Like a cockatiel.
What is happening? I didn't see it. I don't see it over here at all.
Over here. Where's my director?
Makeup. She did say something earlier, and then we thought it was fixed. But
I apologize that I look like a heathen, folks. I want to go back to this point. Jeannie made mention that they love the girls. No one's more entertaining than me. It's not true.
Don't build his head.
That is not true. There are more entertaining people than me. I just do my best to make sure that they don't hear those people. And they only hear me. That's how that works. I'm sorry. Also, I do want to point out, Cindy asked if the garage sale will be available to shop online. At this point in time, we haven't.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, because we will now think
we haven't thought that through thoroughly, but we do need to venture into that conversation.
Because I guess Cindy can't drive from Michigan every time that we do something.
I wish she could. I wish Jackie could come from Oregon. I wish Pam could come from the South. I wish Cheryl could come from the East Coast. We have people all over the country.
Lisa up in Wisconsin could come down.
We've got people everywhere that would love to join in on the garage sale. So, Victoria, it's your garage sale. Yep. You need to figure out how you want to handle this online for the friends that are out there in the internet worlds. Okay. That's a Dennis the Menace hair. Yeah. Yes, Cassie. That's Dennis the Menace. Ooh, maybe it's fitting. Maybe I should leave it that way.
Maybe.
Anyway, okay. So we talked about the garage sale. Make sure you're here for that. The other big thing we've got going on is classes. Classes have started up again.
I flailed.
Well, you did. Thank you. Well, they haven't really started yet. They are starting in July. July is our big classes are starting. You can go to our website, warmandcozyquilting.com. Go to the classes section. You can see all of our classes. We haven't implemented a virtual version for our classes just yet. We want to get through a few of our in-person classes first, and then we have a thought on doing the virtual. So it may happen. It will happen. Just bear with us, distancers. But classes are out there. We have one that's already filled up. We got another one that's coming up. If you're new to quilting, we have a beginner quilters class that's coming up. It's going to be a 6-week program on a Saturday morning.
10 to noon.
10 to noon. It's basic intro, make a baby quilt, size quilt. And
you're gonna quilt it on your domestic. You're gonna piece it. You're gonna start to finish, bind it, the whole thing.
It's going to be a good time. What time is it? 10:24. We're getting there. So anyway, sign up for that. Seats are limited. We don't have room for 85 people, so first come, first serve. Also, July 1st, I have a class out there. We are renting time on our long arms. We have the new Amara set up with a 10-foot frame. We've got the Capri with the 8-foot frame, and we got, the Moxie with the 8-foot frame, and the Capri, which is a stationary machine. I got 3 machines to rent time on. Certification class is going to be July 1st. $60 for the class, $15 an hour to rent the machines. Why wouldn't you? Finish your quilts that you've had stockpiled and now you don't know what to do with them.
So tell us about this class a little bit. What are they going to learn in this class?
So the class will
these machines are scary.
They are scary. They are big, 60-pound, 40-pound monsters that put fabric together quickly. I guess. That's one way to look at it. So you're going to learn about making bobbins. You're going to learn about the machines and how to thread it. You're going to learn how to load the machines. You're going to learn some basic meandering, free motion-y stuff.
Right.
These are not computerized machines. They're not going to quilt for you. You have to do the movement of everything yourself. We're also going to give you some insight on...
So they are going to learn some free motion.
Yes, free motion quilting and some quilting from the back. That way you can just follow pantograph. I'm not creative enough to come up with a floral print to put all over this. Well, we'll have scroll patterns that you can purchase from us, and then you can do this design across your quilt top. It's very easy to do. I did one yesterday. Some of you may have seen the picture of it. It was my first time, and I'm going to tell you now, I prefer the computer. I like my computerized versions because it's more fun.
I thought it was fun yesterday.
It was fun. Don't get me wrong.
All of us
I
quilted
enjoyed
yesterday
it.
from the back. We all quilted on the same quilt.
If I'm given a choice, though.
And it looks pretty good.
It does. It looks great. So sign up for that. Go to the website. First class is July 1st, which is 4 to 8 p.m. 4 p.m., 8 p.m., 4 hours. Getting you all this information. We're also going to have a second class on Monday, July 12th, which is going to be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So a Monday class and a Thursday class, pick one. I'm going to try to have these about twice a month is the goal. If I have more of a demand, I may increase those. It was going to be my class. Unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to me ramble for a couple hours, but it'll be fun. I promise. Wow, look at that. So look at this border on here. Look at that. Fancy. All right, so given time.
We're going to run out of time.
Yes.
And I would press this at this point, which we don't have time to do all that and then show you any further. But
okay, so you would
what I would like to do is put it up on the wall.
Put it up on the wall.
And just so that we can talk about that. Then, so now we've added this border, and we should just go, oh, well, it was 45 and I added 6. Is that what we should do? No, we're going to remeasure.
Yes.
We're going to measure here, in the middle, and on the bottom.
Yeah, so you would do your 3 measurements again. That's okay.
And we don't have to do all this, but
no, it's okay. So we're just going to point out. So here we are. We're actually about 50 and a half.
Okay.
Which is actually a ½ inch longer than we had first estimated. This is at 49 3/4.
Oh, here, it's
not straight. Yeah. It's not flat. Even still, we're just at 50. So there's a whole ½ an inch difference there. I was actually enjoying my demonstration.
Okay, fine.
So it's 50 and a half again. And then you would measure the bottom again, which is 50 and a half. Add them. You don't have to add them at that point because it's 50 and a half.
If they're all the same, then that's what you're going to cut it to, 50 and a half. So I'm going to take my 2 pieces I already have. I'm going to do the same thing with my little doodad, fold it in half, find my middle, blah, 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 blah. Rewind, watch it again.
Do it again. Then do it again 4 more times.
And then do it again 4 more times, or 2 more times, rather.
Right.
For your outside border.
Clip.
Voila! Your quilt will be finished. It would definitely take me another hour.
Oh, solidly another hour. For sure.
So I know that you get to the point of the blocks are done, the quilt is done. But the borders, take some time, allot that time for yourself. No.
Absolutely.
Because I think the biggest problem is our expectation of things, right?
Yes.
We go in expecting it to be quick, then when it's not, we're frustrated.
Right.
If we go in with a clear expectation of this is going to take me a few hours and this is going to be totally worth it when I get it finished, then we will feel more confident and we will
do it again.
You'll do it again, and you'll
get better at it.
You'll feel better about the day. And
yes, absolutely. So if you have any questions on those borders, you can always comment here. You can always send us a message. Facebook Messenger. You can email us, info@warmandcozyquilting.com. You can stop by the shop, 816 South Main Street, Suite 2 in Columbia, Illinois. Come on down and say, hey, how you guys doing? I watched your video on borders, and I don't get it.
Yeah, show me.
We can gladly walk through with you on any of that. Again, this is why you have quilt shops. This is why you support them. This is why you shop local or even remotely with us, but it's fine.
Right.
So we can keep helping you with these things.
Exactly.
Beyond that, I did want to point out to you, before we run out of here, next Saturday, July 3rd. Do you know what that is? Oh, do you see that? Do you see that moment where yes. Maybe we won't do next week. Maybe we may have to, I don't know. We'll see.
It's Stash Pot Pie.
It is. It's the first Saturday of the month, which means those of you that are working on your Stash Pot Pies, you have till next Saturday to have June's done to get July's pattern for free. If you don't know what I'm talking about with Stash Pot Pie, the previous forms of communicating with us, use those routes and ask me, and we'll fill you in on that. Or
just come next Saturday if you're like, what?
Yeah, just come next
Saturday and we'll talk about it and you'll watch and it'll be fun.
Will.
I just saw your hands flailing on the delay. Anyway.
Anyway, Stash Pot Pie next Saturday.
And do you know what else it means? It will reveal.
Oh, yes. I knew that. I was going to say that, but I didn't realize you were getting ahead of me. She's so excited about
I'm
August.
sorry.
You'll get to see August's design. It's absolutely fantastic. You're going to love it. Any other questions? Any other problems? Anybody? Anybody? Raise your hands. No? Okay. Well, on that note, Victoria, if you're good and ready, we're going to say we're done. We're going to go open a shop. We'll see you in a little bit. Come say hi.
Sounds good. All right. See ya.
Bye.